What's up, gentlemen? Today we are going to go over how to speak to anyone with confidence and have a fantastic conversation. And we're going to get to that right now. Alright, so first on the docket is definitely introduce yourself with a smile and a handshake. Too many guys just walk up and they say, "Hey, how you doing?" And they extend their hand and they got a squirmy, wet noodle handshake. And this is a killer for any conversation, for any hope of some sort of respect or engaging conversation that's gonna happen after. You see, if you don't have a strong handshake to start it off, it's awkward. You go in for a handshake and it's like a wet noodle, and you're like, what's wrong with this guy? Does he not like me? Does he think that I'm sick? It's like he doesn't believe in himself. All sorts of connotations and assumptions can come after having a poor handshake. Of course, in 2020, 2021, you got COVID-19 running around scaring everyone. So before you do this, you always ask first, hey, are you cool with handshakes? That's kind of what you have to do in this day and age. And hopefully that clears up and goes away so we can just extend our hands and shake each other's hands again one day without everyone being all weird about it. But for now, ask first, hey, you cool with a handshake? My name's Kane Irvine. Pleasure to meet you. Next up, when we're dealing with conversations, when we're having conversations with people and we want to have good, genuine conversations, we want to ask ourselves, what's our motive? Like, what do we want out of this conversation? Do we want to get to know this person? If it's a lady, do we want to ask them out? Do we want to ask them out on a date and maybe take the relationship further? Or are we just looking for a good conversation? Perhaps you're at a dinner party and you're being introduced to people. You're at a family event and you haven't seen a family member for a while. You want to have a good conversation with them. This is where we determine what our motive may be. It could just be casual, it could be anything. But we want to make sure that when we're going into the conversation, we want to know what our goal out of this is. Man, this tastes like a warm summer day. If we want to have quality conversations with people, if we want to speak to people with confidence, we have to genuinely care about the conversation we're walking into. We have to genuinely care about the people that we're talking to. We have to care about how they're feeling or how their day's going or the things that they're choosing to do with their time or whatever it is that the conversation may possibly be about. And if we don't care, if we're not being genuine, well then how is the conversation going to be high quality? How's the conversation going to be enjoyable? We're just sitting there and we're just like, yeah. As opposed to engaging in the conversation, listening, asking them how they feel or things like that, then the conversation is going to be poor quality. We're not going to be able to walk into that conversation with confidence because all we can think about is getting the hell out of there. And so next up, when it comes to having a genuine conversation, when it comes to speaking to people with confidence and having great conversations, what is so important is listening. Listening is genuine conversation. Jordan Peterson says 12 rules for life is that always listen as if the other person knows something that you don't know. And this way conversation stays genuine. This way conversation stays connected because you're listening. You're not just giving advice. You are just taking in what the other person has to say. And you can learn so much about a person if you just listen to them. They'll tell you, man. They'll tell you who they are, and they'll tell you their likes and their wants and their needs. So for instance, if you're on a first date with someone and you sit down, you ask them, so what do you do for a living? And they say, oh, I do X, Y, and Z. And you say, well, how'd you get into that? And then let them talk and listen, and you'll find out what they like. You'll find out the choices that they made to get to where they were. You'll find out past instances in their life. You'll find so much out just by this simple question of saying, how'd you get into that? It's truly amazing, and this is one of the key components of having a genuine, real conversation. Another thing that I personally like to ask people when I'm having conversations with them and I'm trying to really listen to them and I'm trying to really get a grasp on what their life's like, what their interests are like, how much they like their job and their life around them, is I'll ask them, what's that like for you? And I'll genuinely mean to ask, like, what's it like for you to work in that position? What's it like for you to be going through that part of stage in your life right now? What's it like for you to enjoy those types of hobbies? This is just another thing that'll get people talking. This is just another thing that'll get people yapping away, and you can just genuinely listen and find out more about that person. And it's so cool just to listen to people. Even the people who are normally not that interested in talking, even the people that are normally not that interested in interacting with others, you just ask them, what's it like for you to enjoy kayaking so much? And they'll say, like, oh, this is what I like about it. It makes me feel this way. The wind blowing in my hair, and the workout I get from paddling, and the way I get to see the environments around me. And then you ask, well, how did you get into kayaking? Man, it's never ending. You can just see the smile on my face right now. I'm just thinking about a conversation that I would probably have with someone in that realm if they said that they like kayaking or something, and the amount that I would learn from that person about the types of different wonders they would see, or the different animals they would encounter, or the different workouts that they would get, or like how their muscles would grow from kayaking and what that's like for them. And conversation's all about genuinely caring and genuinely getting to know someone. Even if you're a sourpuss and you don't like talking to people, man, just actually taking an active interest in someone else's life and the things that they do, man, it'll change your perspective on so many things. Gentlemen, bottom line is that if you want to have a genuine conversation with people, you have to care, you have to be genuine, and you have to listen. And if you listen, people will tell you all you need to know about themselves. Ask a couple questions, let them go off, and you will find so much. And you will find so much value, and you will learn so many things throughout the course of your life. That's it for this video, gentlemen. If you liked it, sauce me one of these down below. Smash that subscribe button, and please drop a comment down below and let me know what you do to make sure that you have genuine, interesting, and fantastic conversations with others. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and even better, week ahead. And gentlemen, stay proud, stay strong, stay kind, and of course, stay handsome.